pull out your Divine Liturgy book. So here, if you read in Greek now, for those of you that are in Greek school or tend to know Greek, if you see over on the page 35 on the left-hand side, it said, "Tuto ipsato ton helium." So this has touched my lips. But the word here is the same word that you heard here. It's the only thing that I said in Greek when I was reading the gospel today. Because the woman comes up and she touches the fringe of Jesus' garment, and Jesus' words are, "Tis o apsamenos mu," who touched me. And the same word that you have there is the same word that you have here. If we go into now Strong's Concordance, which is like the Bible of the explanation of Greek words, this touching is not a touching like I go up to Juan and I shake his hand and his hand touches mine. This is not the kind of touching that we're talking about. Properly used in this sense from the word aptome or apto. So apto is to light something on fire. So when you kindle a flame, to apatsis, you light this flame. Now, we don't use that term today in Greek, but the original meaning of that is to light a fire. The ome makes it a reflective action, something that happens to me. So when it ends in omega, apto, it means I do something. I'm lighting a fire. When the verb ends in ome, it is typically reflexive. The action happens unto me. So here we have aptome, and so the action is happening to me. What is that action that is happening? That action is something that touches me and alters me significantly. It makes a change in who I am. This is what we saw in the gospel today. Because what happened? She touches him, and she immediately has been altered. Whatever flow of blood she had no longer happens. If we read in Matthew, right after this, Jesus goes out, and it says, ipsato, their eyes. That the blind men, he touched their eyes, and immediately they were altered. So when we read the word touch in English, it has the connotation of, well, okay, he touched the garment, he touched their eyes, he touched this, touched that. But there's a significant difference here by this particular word that is used because of its double meaning. Number one, it alters that person in a significant way. And it does it through fire. And this is why the word is in here when you receive Holy Communion. Because it says, this has touched my lips. And that ipsato means that it should alter me in some way. The first way it alters me is that now my guilt and my sin is forgiven. But it goes on, the prayer goes on to say that it can be fire which burns the unworthy, but it can be fire then that ignites us to now live that Christian life. It renews us. So rather than just a halftime break and a very, very good, because I use good wine only, a very tasty wine because I'm starting to get hungry, instead of a mid-liturgy snack, it means to ignite you, to set you on fire, so that you may then do those works that you should do. So we have to connect. Why did St. John Chrysostom use the word that he did? Because it is the words that are used in the gospel to express a significant thing that Jesus does with his people. And what he does is he alters them significantly. There has been a change in their body, in this case the woman's body and the blind men, but it also then changes our soul. And when we receive communion in that way, when that communion has touched our lips and we understand what the significance of that is, then we take it much more to heart and treat it less like a mid-liturgy snack and more like what it's meant to be.